This leads me to Penn State just firing James Franklin. So James Franklin, who has amassed a record at Penn State of 104-45 across 12 seasons. But the man is 3-3 this season after a number 2 ranking in the preseason. But now you got fans, fire James Franklin, fire James Franklin. And you know what they do? They fire James Franklin. I understand that winning is important and all of these things. But let's dissect this whole thing. James Franklin got fired for $49 million worth of buyout money. Plus, you're going to have to buy out Coach Nicky, Jim Knowles, everybody else. After a terrible 3 weeks or one bad season, we're talking about the same man who just 1 season ago had Penn State in the college football playoff and won 2 games. And if you have watched this channel, I have been a person who's been highly critical of James Franklin. Even coming into this season, I told you that they were going to disappoint. Yes, he's 4-21 against top 10 teams. But this is a prime example. What has happened with Penn State right now is a prime example of making too much out of one single game. This is what has happened. This is Penn State's fault. This is the media's fault. This is everybody's fault. The reaction to that and the fallout from his team, because they are a victim of emotion. And this is also a victim of people half-ass adapting. James Franklin being fired by Penn State is an example of people half-ass adapting to the new age of college football. Because the old days are over where you lose one game and your season is over. You are made or broken by one season. Oh, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, whoever wins that game gets to go to the college football playoff. Everybody else just regular bowl game. Those days are over. We have to divorce ourselves from that mentality because it is over. Penn State made their entire season about beating Oregon. Made their entire season about beating Oregon. Oh, Oregon's a young team. They lost so much in the draft. It's going to be a whiteout environment. They're not ready for 111,000 people. Penn State is returning Drew Aller. Nick Singleton's coming back. Katron Allen's coming back. We went to the portal and got wide receivers. Our defense is good. We got Jim Knowles. We got everything. This is our moment. Why would that be your moment? Think about that. That's an incorrect mentality. That game can't be your moment because you can't, even if Penn State had beaten Oregon like Indiana beat Illinois 63-10, what trophy would you have gotten for it? What banner could you put up? What national championship would you have gotten? The goal of college football right now is to be playing your best football in November, December, and January. That is it. And the best coaches and the most successful coaches have adapted to that. Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, Saban prior to retiring. Even Dabo Swinney last year started out not great. Ended up making the college football playoff. That's what matters. Not it doesn't matter how much you win by. It matters winning your games, find a way to get into the tournament. And this is exactly why the parity in college football is exactly why the expansion needs to happen in the college football playoff. I believe that Penn State has a legitimate shot to regret this decision in firing James Franklin. Did the team fall apart? 100%. They put everything into the Oregon game, but what would they have actually won if they had beaten the Ducks? Nothing. They would have got a kudos and an attaboy from everybody, and then as soon as they had their bye week and, Miami runs Florida State out of the building, then all of a sudden, or Ohio State goes to Washington and win. Now all of a sudden, they might be the better team then. Doesn't matter. Win your games. And don't let your team fall apart. James Franklin, I know he's been there 12 years, but he could have had the opportunity to fire Coach Nicky, fire Jim Knowles after the season. And maybe he should have done it during the season after this game. But the administration found a way. They wanted a way out, and they did a knee-jerk reaction that they might turn out to regret. And mind you, I'm a person who has been critical of James Franklin. But this don't make a lot of sense. First of all, financially, $49 million, you're probably going to be up near 60-something once you get rid of all the assistants as well. And remember, James Franklin is the same guy that has leveled your program up. Leveled it up after it was in ruins and in ashes. And has he given you a national championship? No. Has there been disappointment? No. But I always tell people there are 2 rules to firing a coach. Number 1, is there a coach that you can guaranteed get that will do a better job than the one that you have right now? Is that a guarantee? Think about that. Who's available? Guaranteed do a better job. And then the second criteria is there a loss of hope? Can you go into the houses of 17 to 22-year-olds between the high school recruiting and the transfer portal and sell them on the fact the future is brighter than the past? Yeah, there was probably a little bit of a loss of hope, but not a full meltdown of the loss of hope.